This project is so special to me. Erin is one of my dearest friends, so I was so excited to help them, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I was also intimidated. Working with a dear friend can create a lot of design pressure on me. And of course, I don't want anything to go wrong, and I would never want to jeopardize our friendship. But Erin and I collaborated beautifully, and we have created such a beautiful space for her family and for her friends. The first part I want to show you is this great entertainment wall. We knew that we wanted the TV theater space, but I also wanted her to have a fireplace. I thought that that would feel really cozy. I also had this idea of these gorgeous birch logs. When I think of my clients, I think of them in colors and in design materials. And I always think of Erin as a birch tree. I know that sounds really weird and funny, but the birch bark reminds me of my dear friend. And so I really wanted to use these birch logs in her design. And so she totally understood the need for these logs and this cozy fireplace, little space for the family to view movies. The other design element that I love about this wall is this De Chateau wood treatment. It is an amazing product, and I have had my designer eye on this for years, and I've been waiting for the special moment to use it. And so we used this walnut hexagon to add that warmth, because we put a lot of glamour in this basement, but this brings that warmth back. So before, this was a pretty plain vanilla basement. And what we wanted to do was have this evolve into a lower level and actually create a space where the family wanted to come down here and spend more time. We wanted to infuse more family fun down here because she has 3 teenagers. She wants them to hang out here. But then Erin also wanted this lower level to grow with her family so that it was not only child friendly, but it would be adult friendly as well. So we added a bar and a wine nook and a place for them to entertain their friends for games and other adult fun. Now, let's go check out this amazing bar. So this is the bar area, and we went with the longest bar possible with this quartz slab. And that way they can fit 5 bar stools, one for every person in their family, and host a lot of friends. The other thing that I decided that we should have when I drew this elevation was another TV. That way you can sit here and watch the game as well as over at the sectional. So that way you can host even more people because they want to entertain their friends and family down here. And when you don't have enough seating and not everybody can get a good spot for the Super Bowl or a game, it gets to be a little bit, tricky. So if we can provide the largest bar possible and we have the space, we should really do it. We wanted this bar to feel really glamorous. And we decided to take this beautiful quartz and go all the way up the backsplash. So that is what's behind the TV wall. And I think it's just a beautiful, classic, elegant look that's never going to date. And when I drew it out in the elevation, I knew that I wanted to have those lamps. So 6 months ago, I picked out the lamps. In my mind, I knew what I wanted. We got those from IKEA because you always want to try to save somewhere. And I also knew that they would sit on a pedestal of books. And I grabbed some books for display. And what Erin's going to do is add her own personal coffee table books as she collects them. She's actually going to get books from places that she's traveled, so it'll feel more personal. We had these bar stools picked out and in the house before construction even started. I mean, when you are creating a beautiful bar, we got to think about the bar stools, and they are gorgeous. They always remind me of a pair of really great high heels because I just love the legs on these bar stools. And then we also have a brass foot rail. So I think that that adds a little bit of classic bar detail. And then we pair it with the modern bar stool. So it's just gorgeous when you walk into this place and you see that first. So these cabinets are a stock cabinet line. And we did that because it's always a cost savings to use something stock. But over at the Wine Nook, I wanted to personalize it just a little and add a custom detail. So come along, I'm going to show you that detail. It is very important for me to get the correct floor plan for each client. I often draw 3 to 5 different floor plans and furniture plans for every project. It's so critical because if we don't get the foundation right, then you will never be able to live as happy as you possibly can. I'm telling you this because we had this really weird, tricky situation over here. This closet here was a sump pump, and they had already had a closet here. And so I was a little bit perplexed about how to balance it and how to make it look right. And so as I drew the elevations, it became clear that we would have to add another closet on the other side to balance it out. And that's how we developed this great little wine nook. And now it feels like a cozy spot. We've got it set up with tables and chairs, but they can also put a game table here if they would like, and they can have poker games and euchre games or work a puzzle. So now it really works for the family, and it'll work long-term for whatever they decide this activity will be. These are stock cabinets, but this area needed a little something extra, and with all of the wood that we had down by the TV area, I needed to get that walnut back over here to balance it. Here is a great tip. You can always use stock cabinets to help you with the budget, but you can also add a custom detail. So I designed a custom walnut detailed wine rack there, and that got me that custom look, and it also got that walnut over here that warms it up. So now it feels unique and custom. Lighting is critical to my plans. We always do an electrical plan because I cannot design a space without thinking about how I'm going to light it. I love to use different layers of lighting. We should always have sconces, chandeliers, pendants, of course recessed, and I love my LED recessed tape. One of the things that we added over here were some sconces in this elevation, and they sit on top of this tile. The tile has a little bit of marble and gold, which brings that glamour over to this space. And then we floated the glass shelves, so that way it didn't interfere with that tile and that sight line. And I think that now this feels like an area that you're gonna wanna come over and have a nice little conversation with a drink. Thank you for following along with this tour of the mixed basement, and cheers to being happier at home.